Hey.
Hello.
Sorry I was late. I had a little something come up that I had to take care of real quick before I got on here. So hopefully there'll be no distractions, no open doors, no dogs, spooking us during this spooky live. All right, let's get over here and welcome everybody in the chat. We, of course, have MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless. She made it on screen again today.
Yes.
We have Bob's Adventure. We have Hitch Up and Tow, K&R Destinations. We have Daydream About Nice Things. Thanks so much for coming in. We have Whoa Nelly RV Adventures. Hello. I'm trying to scroll real slow. Shanna Craft, Fantastic Travels. Happy Place Camping. I think I have everybody. The Aloha Conch just came in. I know I'm not saying that word right. It just doesn't want to come out of my mouth. Daydream says 2 weeks in a row, member of the month for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, one more time, the name of this hotel before I share screen is Menger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, never mind. It is a German word. I can't speak English, and this is a German word. So, hey Donald, thanks for coming in. Hey Linda Barker.
Mm-hmm.
And I probably said that wrong or close to it. That's all that matters. All right, we're going to go ahead and share screen here and get rocking on this spooky story. Nette always finds interesting places. You all bring such interesting places to this, and then she does the research, and I'm always just fascinated. I see it while you all see it. I think I've said that before, but for anybody that doesn't know, I don't click on the videos prior to doing this because I want to see it as you all see it. It's exciting. All right. The beginnings of the Menger Hotel. Am I saying it right, Mel?
Yes. He said you are.
All right. You want to read that one?
Yeah. The 20-year-old German immigrant William A. Menger must have felt the calling in some capacity because he arrived in San Antonio in the early 1840s, when it was still very much a cattle barren town. Menger wasted no time in settling into San Antonio. Within a few years, he started the Western Brewery with his partner, Charles Philip Deegan, who was another German brewmaster.
Germans.
German.
You've been to San Antonio, right?
Yes, that's where we were living, like about 20 miles from San Antonio. Yeah.
I remember that is one place. There's a couple places that I went when I was a kid. But I mean, I went a lot of places with my godmother, but there's a couple that just fully stick out in my mind. I remember them like yesterday. And San Antonio, the Alamo and the boardwalk or the Riverwalk are two things that it feels like I was there yesterday. They're so beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, Nomadic Hippie. William A. Menger. Western Brewery was not only the first brewery in Texas, but in 1878, it had also grown to become the largest operating brewery in the Lone Star State as well. In 1868, Menger also bought out his competitor, Naylor's Brewery, and earned the nickname the Beer King. Happy Place said the Alamo is pretty cool, but weird it's surrounded by the city.
Western Brewery had been built on part of the site in which the Battle of the Alamo had transpired. Just on the other side was a boarding house owned by the widow, Mary Gunther. As it turned out, Mary was one of the first people that Menger met when he moved to San Antonio.
Always a woman. Always a woman in these stories. Is she German? She looks very German.
She may be.
While looking for prospective job opportunities, Menger had made Mary's boarding house his temporary home for 3 years. Welcome to the chat, Patrick.
Finally, Menger convinced the boarding house proprietress to marry him. As soon after the two wed, both business thrived in the San Antonio market. But soon enough, it was necessary to expand the boarding house. They needed more space.
Patrick asked if I would dress up like Santa this year. No, but you know what? This is the first year I have bought a shirt that I could see my mom wearing. It's like this, but it's got Santa all over it and like a whole bunch of Santa.
Yeah.
This is not, I'm turning into a full-blown adult, you know? Does she look German? That's about the most racist thing I've ever heard. No, I think there's a very distinct look to somebody that's full-blown German, though. Their bone structure is very... All right. Together, Mr. and Miss Menger decided to turn the boarding house into a opulent hotel. They named it the Menger Hotel after themselves, of course, and set upon making their dreams a reality. Nomadic KP, I did not say they all look the same. Okay, that's huge.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
To go from a boarding house to that's huge. I love that structure, though. It's beautiful.
To design their dream hotel, the Mengers hired a local architect by the name of John M. Fries. On February 1st, 1859, the hotel was completed. It was a 2-story stone-cut structure with classical details. The interior, if at all possible, was even more breathtaking.
I miss buildings like that,
where
you can look at them from the outside and just know that it's had a ball in it. You know what I mean? Like the big fancy buildings where you know something like that took place. It's awesome. Hippie said, I know what you're talking about now. I recognize that building. That one's directly across the street from the Alamo. William Menger continued to operate his brewery business and actually had a large cellar constructed under the hotel itself.
Three-foot-thick stone walls formed an underground space that was used to chill the beer produced by the brewery. A tunnel ran between the two establishments so that Menger, who was naturally proud of his fine-tasting brew, could bring guests of the hotel next door to sample and tour the brewery.
Well, there'd be no drinking and driving. You're just walking through a tunnel.
Yep. Just staggering.
Bouncing off each side of it.
Look at your little person. It's the head right on the body. Did you see that?
Yeah. The Menger received so much attention that within 3 months of the grand opening, William and Mary began to sketch out a plan to expand the hotel. What had started as a 50-room hotel then became a hotel of 90 guest rooms, making it the largest hotel in the area. Jeez. I wonder who could have... Do you think normal, everyday people were able to afford to stay there?
I don't think so. Not at that time. The Civil War placed a heavy weight on the business for the Mengers. The number of people coming to stay at the hotel slowed dramatically, and William was forced to shut the establishment down for paying guests at any rate.
Well, that kind of answers some of my question. Because, like, I couldn't go stay at the Hilton. I'm just saying. I'm an average, everyday Joe. I can't afford the Hilton, but a Motel 6, you got me. So I kind of wonder, like, back in the day when they were building that 90-room hotel that's so elegant, like, what people are you trying to reach? And is there really that many of them was kind of my...
Right.
I guess this shows, no, there weren't that many of them.
Yeah.
In an attempt to show their support for the war efforts, they instead chose to open the hotel's doors for the sick and wounded. For the length of the war, the Menger was converted into a makeshift hospital for those who were sick or gravely wounded. Many passed away during this period, unable to regain their health. It was originally a boarding house, Patrick, and then they turned it into a hotel. So I think the boarding house probably served meals, but the hotel probably made you pay for the meals.
Yeah.
Would be my guess. This one's yours.
Not so many years later, William Menger passed away at the hotel in March of 1871. His death was met with grieving from the entire city, but the cause of his death remains a mystery even today.
Dun, dun, dun.
Maybe too much alcohol.
Despite Menger's death, Mary refused to give up, and right after her husband's passing, she was quick to put in an ad at the local paper. In the notice, she assured locals that William's death would cause no change in affairs with the brewery or the hotel. She's like, I still need that money.
Yep. Mary welcomed 2,000 guests to the hotel. With the expansions of trains and a depot station being laid out in San Antonio, the Menger Hotel went on to even bigger heights.
Bob's Adventure said, I get the feeling if your death is a mystery, it's what makes you a ghost. True.
Yeah.
Miss Menger was like, put a railroad in right up to my hotel. See, I could see them moving all those chairs out and having a nice big old ball with the ball gowns and the fancy dancing. I can just picture it. By the 1870s, she decided to add lush, modern technology and outfitted the entire hotel with its own gas source. Age was perhaps the only thing that put a damper on Mary's business progress.
Her son rejected the idea of inheriting the hotel, and the property was sold to the original contractor of the Menger, Major J.H. Campman.
Linda said fancy, and Patrick said, I tend to agree, Bob's Adventure. J.H. Campman. The Menger sold in 1881 for $118,500, $2.8 million today. And Campman also purchased all the interior furnishings for another $8,500. $203,000 today. Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
Under Campman's management, a new bar was installed, and it became one of the most elegant of its day. It was a near identical image to the bar at the House of the Lords Club in London. It was equipped with a beautiful cherry wood bar, matching cherry wood ceiling, and French mirrors.
They went all out. So this place is still standing today, huh?
Yeah, it's still standing today.
If walls could talk. So beautiful. Nowadays, that's about the cost of a studio apartment in Santa Cruz, California. Reports surfaced in the newspaper on October 15th, 1924. The headlines read, Flames rout, I don't know, Menger's guest, oil exploding. More death. Fire engine and streetcar collide. 5 hurt. They put loan over. I think newspapers are so interesting. Nobody buys a newspaper anymore. You know, they all look at it online.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Patrick said, what is it today? I think it's still a hotel,
It's
right?
It's still a hotel. Although the oil exploding was not responsible for the fire, it did occur. Starting in the kitchen in the hotel, new addition, the flames licked the walls and the ceiling.
You know, I had a fire in one of my apartments one time, and it was scary. It was some kid, he was like 16 and thought he'd rewarm bacon on the stove. You don't rewarm bacon, especially on a gas stove. And so my kitchen went up in flames, and I was running in there and putting it out. And my walls were covered. They were black. I had to repaint everything. It was freaky. Kitchen fires are terrible.
Yeah.
Wood would ultimately be the Menger's downfall, for the fire leapt along the woodwork, heating the expanse of the chimney and completely swallowing the entirety of the 3rd and 4th floors. Well, Nellie said it's about $1,400 to rent a studio in Santa Cruz. It's crazy here now. KNR said, we know the feeling, Beyond Beauty. Yeah, fires are scary.
Mm-hmm. All of the guests were urged to evacuate the premises. Thanks to a night clerk who realized that there was even a fire at all in the dead of night, he scurried to each room, rapping on the doors and waking the guest.
Tommy Travels said, "Are flames allowed to lick the walls in 2020? I hope not." Spreading germs.
Yeah.
Apparently, one guest reacted with such complete hysteria that he pushed the poor night clerk down the stairs. The clerk was not seriously injured. Oh, well, that's good he wasn't injured. Jeez.
It's like, me first. Get out of my way.
No kidding. It's like me in the bear story, leaving my kid behind.
Yeah. But it was not the 101 guests staying at the Menger who were actually hurt. Instead, the injuries came when the fire-steamed engine came rumbling down the road. The steamer, heading to the fire at the Menger Hotel, rammed into another oncoming streetcar, injuring the two firemen.
Jeez. I guess if you're going to be a ghost, though, what better place than a fancy, beautiful hotel?
Yeah.
You know, so like anybody that was injured outside or around it, they're probably like, I'm going to go stay in there. A.J. Ashbrook and W.R. Boyd, who were operating the vehicle, and 3 people on the streetcar. One of the firemen was found unconscious under the wreckage, though there was no mention of his death in the records. Dun.
The express recorder that really have the firemen had to do battle with a more stubborn or spectacular fire. The flames allegedly enveloped the entire block. But at the Menger, the original section of the hotel was thankfully spared from any heavy damage.
That would be a shame if the whole place had gone down. So much history gone.
Yeah. And that's just a little article.
It was only after the fire raged for 45 minutes, the Houston Post wrote that the flames, which at first threatened the entire building, were brought under control.
Over the years, the Menger Hotel has persisted to be one of the most beautiful places to stay in all of Texas. And as the finest hotel west of the Mississippi, it has welcomed some incredibly famous guests in the last century and a half.
Yep, them famous people got that moolah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's so beautiful, though.
It's pretty.
Actors such as Sarah Bernhardt and Lily Langtry, political men like General Robert E. Lee and Ulysses S. Grant, and authors such as William Sidney Porter, Sidney Lanier, and Oscar Wilde have all stayed at the Menger, some more frequently than others. Royalty and 11 presidents have also called this historic hotel their home away from home a time or two. Gorgeous.
Beautiful ceiling.
That is beautiful. The detailing, like this tiny detailing right here, is just gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
Bob's Adventure said, wow. The ghost of the Menger Hotel.
There's a bit of a dispute on how many ghosts still haunt the halls of this historic hotel. Some put the number of specters at 32 other claims that the number might be closer to 45. One thing we know for sure is that the Menger isn't just haunted, it's haunted. Yes, there is a difference.
It's not just haunted, it's haunted. Patrick said we should take a field trip to the hotel. Oh, see, that's
look at that.
Absolutely stunning. That is so gorgeous. Fantastic Travel says that's beautiful. I'm falling more and more in love with this hotel. Guests have reported countless paranormal phenomena, including everything from witnessing beds actually levitate off the floor to hearing strange rapping noises and even seeing nearly translucent faces appear bedside their own while looking into the mirror. Them ghosts be like, do I look good? Is my hair in place before I scare this human?
Right.
Let's see. Let's got some comments over here. We should take a field trip to the hotel. Whoa, Nelly says that would be cool. Shanna Kraft says yes, yes, yes. Hitch up and tow. When do you get the keys for my house? Linda Barker. We all will be boondocking in the parking lot. That's the way to do it. Boondock in the parking lot and then just go in during the day and check the place out. That's funny. Now, is that a ghost or a human? Looks like a human.
That is accurate. Yeah.
She still looks scary. It's in all black. No, it's black and white photo.
The scent of cigar smoke is inhaled in the hotel's non-smoking rooms, and heavy doors are known to open with no source to have actually pushed them ajar.
So that's something that might scare the living heebie-jeebies out of me. If, like, the door it was a heavy door and it swung open, you know, or, like, went open and then closed. Like, that probably would scare the heebie-jeebies out of me. Hey, Timmy Ray, welcome. All right. What in the what? Look at that face. Lips, nose, eyes. That ghost was like, take my picture.
Uh-huh.
There's even an ear.
It's a big face.
Yeah, it was like right up in the camera.
Yeah.
That's weird. Whoa. Okay, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike many other haunted locations across the country, the Menger's ghosts aren't shy in the slightest. If you choose to stay the night at the Menger, all that can be advised, prepare yourself. Or better yet, good luck. Ooh. Hitch up and toast. That's one sexy ghost. Fab's Adventure said, man, spooky baby. They said, good luck. Your bed starts levitating. Don't call me.
Right.
That's where I'm going to write my novel called All Work and No Play Makes Johnny a Dull Boy. The Ghost of Teddy Roosevelt. Oh, Teddy's hanging around there, huh?
Mm-hmm. Teddy Roosevelt was a huge fan of the Menger Hotel, so much so that he visited on 3 different occurrences. Even so, his first visit is certainly his most memorable, for it was in 1898 that Teddy arrived in San Antonio with his infamous Rough Riders. Today, it is said that people see his ghost in the Menger bar from time to time.
Ooh. Timmy Ray the King said, my cuz told me about a spirit box. What is a spirit box? So a spirit box constantly runs through radio stations. It just constantly runs real fast through a radio station. So if you think about the noise that would cause, it's pretty rapid. If you ask the spirit box a question and it randomly stops and says the word that answers your question, that's usually a ghost responding to you. That's the theory of the spirit box. Patrick said, buy him a drink.
Yeah.
Teddy looks mean to me. I don't know. I've always thought that. But then again, that's the whole not smiling in pictures thing. But he just looks like he'd be mean. But with a name like Teddy, how could he be? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sally White, the ghost of a chambermaid. Oh, I bet she's angry.
Sally White was one of the Menger Hotel's most beloved staff members during the late 19th century.
That's one job I would not like to have. Oh, she's beautiful. Though at work, Sally was all smiles, the same couldn't be said for her life at home. Her common-law husband, Harry Wheeler, was the jealous sort, and stories circulated the hotel that Wheeler was always jealous of any attention given to his wife. Ew. Fun fact, Teddy Roosevelt said the line, walk softly and carry a big stick at the Minnesota State Fair.
On March 28th of 1876, Harry Wheeler's jealousy would take a deadly turn. On the evening before, one of Harry and Sally Rose has exhalated quickly. Wheeler wheeled around on Sally, closing in on her so furious he threatened to kill her.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Panic kicked up Sally's steps as she ran from her husband to the local police station. She begged the officers to help her. They agreed, allowing her to stay at the courthouse for the remainder of the night. An investigation of Wheeler himself and their house showed no signs of any weapons, leaving the officers without any sort of leverage to arrest Harry Wheeler.
Early the next morning, Sally returned to her house to gather some items before heading to work at the Menger. Harry Wheeler had been waiting for her, and he had been waiting with a full loaded pistol.
No. Timmy said, I'd be scared of one of them spirit boxes. Nomadic Hippie said, Tommy Travels, I think you're talking about Teddy Roosevelt, not Teddy Roosevelt. Common mistake, LOL. Melinda Barker, the big stick is to prevent the line jumpers from cutting in line at the carousel at the Minnesota State Fair. Sally ran. Bursting out of their shared home, she ran down the street, hoping, praying to close the 2-block gap to the Menger Hotel where she could find safety. But Wheeler followed his wife. He followed her down those 2 blocks, and when he caught up, He closed his hand around her throat and unloaded the 6-shooter. Oh, that's a terrible death.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. He shot her once in the lower abdomen, and when she squirmed out of his tight grasp, he fired again and shot her just to the left of her spine.
Man, jealousy is evil.
Oh, it's terrible.
Sally White died 2 days later. I'm guessing on one of the third level floors of the original part of the hotel. Harry Wheeler never was arrested for the murder of his common law wife. Where he went after the shooting, no one is quite certain. Ugh! He didn't even, there was no justice?
Hopefully somebody took him out without them knowing what happened to him. Don't know.
Yeah, maybe the owners of the hotel were like, you took out our best person. We're going to pay to find somebody to get you.
Yeah. Mary Menger and the other management at the hotel had loved poor Sally White so much, however, that they decided to fund Sally's funeral cost. The 1876 receipt can still be found in the lobby of the Menger Hotel. For the grave, they paid $25, and for the coffin, $7.
Wow. Back then, I know that's a lot of money, but still, funeral costs nowadays are so much more. But that's super kind of them. Hey, the American Wanderer. That is really, really kind of an employer to do that.
Mm-hmm.
1876 receipt. Today, Sally White's ghost is still seen frequently throughout the hotel, but most especially on the third floor where she passed over 100 years ago. It seems that even in death, Sally enjoys her work at the Menger, for she is most commonly seen clutching an armful of towels or sheets to her chest. Still working after all this time.
Still working.
That's craziness. But I guess if you loved your job and the people you worked for, why not?
Yeah.
She's in there packing people's clothes up in their suitcase for them. Oh.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
Yeah, it's a pretty good picture of one, huh?
That is such a beautiful building, though. It really is beautiful.
Isn't it beautiful? Yeah.
It doesn't look like it would be haunted, like from the outside. It just looks pretty. Like, oh, I'll stay there. And you go and stay, and Sally's packing up your clothes for you because you made a mess. No.
Yeah.
Three Souls Paranormal and Hitch Up in Tow said, okay, I just pooped. That was really good. I enjoyed that a lot. Now I want to stay there. Now it's like,
yeah, I think that one probably would be pretty cool to stay at, even though they're saying there's probably 45 ghosts there, but it looks like it wouldn't be so terrifying, you know?
Yeah, it didn't say anything about them being evil. Mm-hmm. So.
Right.
Let me see what Hippie says over here. Go to the other screen. There we go. Hippie says, with every one of those buildings sitting on the battlefield of the Alamo, I'm sure every one of those buildings has some sort of paranormal story of He's a darn speech to text. Yeah, probably. I would say so, with the mom being the alimony, or the alimony. Daydream says, I want to go stay there. Hey, Quantum. Let's see what Quantum said here. Quantum said, however, the cell phone with all of its technology is no match to the communication device that is typical in every brain. Let me see. Donald said, thank you both. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely be down to stay at this one just for the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm.
And but it's not far from the Riverwalk, right?
Right. It's right directly across from the Alamo, which is downtown by the Riverwalk.
Yeah, I want to plan a trip there. Y'all can meet me, and you can come. I'll rent a room, and y'all come up and hang out in my room, and we'll see if we can find some ghosts.
Right. That would be pretty cool.
Tommy said the Alamo.
But Hippie has to come too.
Oh yeah, Hippie has to go too.
Yeah.
Tommy Travel said the Alamo. That's right. I forgot about that place. So it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed that one. What did you all think? Would you stay there? Do you want to stay there? Do you want to visit it now? Happy Place said, sounds like a party in BB's room.
Right?
Hippie said, our problem is, aren't we going to try and book a room in California in October at the Cecil? I told you, I'm not going to the Cecil. I love you. I will stay at the Limp, that haunted place. I will go to the Alamo, but I am not going to the Cecil, not unless I'm strapped and packing a bunch of heat. That place scares me. Hippie says it's scary. I'm like, yeah, right.
Yeah, you end up on the roof in the water tank.
Yeah. If you even make it in the building. Three Souls said, we spent the night 2 times in Moundsville Penitentiary, and heck yeah, I would stay there. Ooh, that would be creepy. I'd be afraid, like staying. Not that I wouldn't go to a jail and explore it, but I'd be afraid to walk into like the jail cells, afraid that like a ghost would close the gate on me and I'd be stuck in there.
Yeah.
Linda said, I would stay and boondock in the parking lot. Tink said, yummy, more eye candy for Ireland. Hello, ladies. Hey, Tinks. Yeah. What about you? What is like, if you could stay at any of the places we talked about so far, or if there's any that you would X off your list and be like, I'm never going there, what do you think those places are for you?
Well, the definitely the Cecil and the Axe Murder House. I wouldn't stay there.
Yeah, I forgot about the Axe Murder House. I toured that one. I wouldn't stay overnight there.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't think I would mind staying at the Menger. And what's crazy is we were there this whole time, and I've never went down and looked at it. I've been to the Alamo and the Riverwalk, but I've never seen the Menger. Yeah.
Well, it doesn't look creepy from the outside.
We're going back to Texas, so we can always do it. You know, that's where we're heading back to see my mother-in-law probably in the next few months. So we can always do it then.
There you go. Yeah, Hippie went to the Axe Murder House about 2 months ago or so. It was kind of cool. You didn't get to go inside of it, though, because of COVID, right, Hippie? Oh, this is a good question.
Oh.
Would rather spend the night at the Cecil or East St. Louis? Yeah. I'm going with the Cecil.
That's hard.
There's at least a building there that like I can stay in, lock myself in a room with my friends. That's another one that the Winchester house. That's another one that's it's disorienting the way that it's like everything is built in there. So that would be a hard one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I really couldn't go inside. Yeah, that's what stinks about the COVID right now. It's making it hard to stay inside anywhere or go inside and look at anything.
Yeah.
So do you have an idea for next week, or should we have everybody drop some ideas in the chat?
Definitely drop ideas, because I start researching and sometimes it's hard to pick up really enough content. So it helps that I have multiple, and then I'm able to get something from there.
There we go. Well, one might be the one that 3 Paranormals talked about up here. Moundsville Penitentiary. That might be one to look into. And 3 Souls Paranormal, did you do a video on the penitentiary? Do you have it up yet? So we could view that if we wanted to. He says, okay. Nomadic Hippie says, okay, I already asked for the Silver Bridge and the Mammoth story, but how about the Boise Penitentiary in Boise, Idaho? That's a good one.
And I am looking at the Silver Bridge too. That story's it's a pretty good story. So I am researching that one.
Then we have Montana Territorial Prison. Donald says, can you go to old movie theaters not used anymore? You know, there's a really old movie theater in Metropolis, Illinois. I see it every time I drive in there. And it's neat. It's really neat just from the outside. So I can imagine the history it holds on the inside. But that's something that Hippie might be able to kind of look into. I'm not sure, but Hippie, idea for a video. There you go. 3 Souls Paranormal said, you know, it was back in 2014 and 15 and have no videos. Ah, okay.
Okay.
Hippie says, I can get the key to the one in Metropolis, Illinois. There you go, Hippie. We want to see a video of that. We want to see the old theater there in Metropolis. I think that'd be a really good video. The outside's like, you can tell it's a theater because it's got the signage, you know, the round thing that would show what movies were showing and stuff. But it's kind of all broken. It's beautifully broken, if that makes sense. 3 Souls Paranormal says, we've just contacted this place called the Old Hospital on College Hill in West Virginia, and we will be investigating it in the spring. Ooh, I look forward to that.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely excited for that. Nette, what videos have you posted? You've posted a couple of them in the last couple of weeks, and I'm sure you've got something coming up. So you want to kind of talk about that a little?
Yeah, we just posted today part 2 of Tuscaloosa, which was pretty cool because we had a surprise visit with RV Underway. So they're in that with us, you know, and that was a really nice meetup. So that one just came out today. Yeah. And then this coming next Sunday is our meetup with you. That's going to be coming out. So that's going to be also awesome.
Sounds awesome. I was telling Nette today that it makes my heart so happy seeing all the pictures and the videos and stuff that she keeps uploading, because she's out there just living life to the fullest and meeting all these new people or people you've talked to online. And I absolutely love watching it happen. So Google Boom Hall Dairy, Ireland. They say it's haunted.
Oh.
Bob's Adventure said Skinwalker Ranch. Ooh.
I heard of Skinwalkers. Yeah.
You'll have to go back through the
I'm
chat
taking-
towards the end of the video because a lot of people are dropping some pretty cool names in there.
Yeah. What I'm doing is I'm doing screenshots and catching everything. So I have it all on my phone.
Hippie says, I got a question. When both of you met and went out for dinner that day, how nervous were either of you meeting for the first time? I am always a nervous wreck. In fact, I didn't realize they were in the car next to me when we first pulled up. I did not have my shoes on yet. I was checking my face in the mirror, and all of a sudden I hear Mel's voice go, "You look fine."
You said you're beautiful. You don't need to put no makeup on.
I'm always nervous. Hippie doesn't believe me. He said that when I met him, I wasn't nervous at all, or it seemed like I wasn't. I'm like, no, I was nervous. Tommy says, beautifully broken. It sounds like a movie in the Lifetime channel starring Meredith Baxter Burney. I don't know. I feel like I'm going to get deep on this for a second, but I feel like all people are beautifully broken because you go through so many hardships in life and it breaks you. But when you pull yourself back together and you keep moving forward, you're beautifully broken. You're inspiringly broken. So I always like that beautifully broken thing. I think buildings are the same way.
Yeah.
So. Happy Place said, I don't think Nette gets nervous.
Yeah, I wasn't nervous to meet you. I was excited.
He says, I think I was more nervous than you because you pulled up with like an 8-foot tall bodyguard named Bulldog. Talk about feeling intimidated. Nah, you know, he's real. Me and Bulldog are both very much like homebodies, and I know, like, for me, it's really hard for me to like meet people because I'm always afraid I'm going to say something stupid. I mean, y'all, I can't read English, so I'm always afraid something's going to come out of my mouth that shouldn't. So yeah, I do get really nervous, but I absolutely push myself to do it because it's worth it every time. So, hey, Oracles and Beyond, welcome, welcome. So up next, does someone, I know that Dee isn't always doing Sundays, so is there anybody running right after me today?
I'm not sure who's coming up next.
Okay. I'm not real sure either, but I know we have K&R Destinations on tonight. Jerry, is he coming on tonight?
I'm pretty sure he's coming on later. Yeah, I haven't heard anything that he wasn't.
All right. And Happy Place, do you know of anybody else coming on tonight? Because I want to make sure we kind of, I know Nette was telling me we can't drop links anymore unless I drop the link, which is such a bummer. But maybe they'll change that eventually. But at least we can kind of give a rundown on who will be on later. Tommy Travels says, I was super nervous to meet Hippie. I cried and screamed like an Elvis fan when I saw him. Happy Place said, no clue who's on after you. Shanna Craft says, Jerry Halley had a house fire about an hour ago. Oh, keep him in your prayers, everyone. While he's out there doing his work.
Yeah, fighting. Yeah.
All right. K&R and Jerry are both scheduled. All right. Perfect. Well, I want to wish you all a very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. I wish you it. And
yes.
I won't be back on before Christmas. It's a crazy time of year, but I hope to get a little video out soon. And Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year, Miss Nette.
Merry Christmas to you too. Happy New Year. And to everybody in the chat.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to go ahead and end it here. I hope you all enjoy your evening. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Wishing you all much kindness and much love.
And we're sending love your way.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.